Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, bounce back Friday. Short, sweet, simple. Money making Friday. Had to put the Cardis on, the buffs on, the hater blockers on, man, because I ain't gonna lie, it's been a rough 2 weeks. Even last night, I went 1-1, dropped my NBA player of the day, had the Utah Jazz as the top play. Utah, best home ATS team in basketball. And they let Tyrese Maxey come in there and get down on him. 53 from Maxey? I like Maxey. I think he should have been an all-star starter. Maxey is from right here in my hometown, literally right up the street, one town over, Garland, Texas. I saw him playing high school plenty of times. But coming off an injury, the way the Sixers have been playing, 4 straight L's on the road, and y'all allow them to come into y'all building and do that? Disgusting. So we dropped the NBA player of the day yesterday. We did cash our second play with the Los Angeles Lake Show Lakers. Granted, we had them before the Anthony Davis, LeBron James news, so we kind of just had to let it ride, and luckily we cashed there. I told you guys yesterday on the jam session I thought the Lakers had a legitimate shot to win that game outright. No way in hell did I think that after LeBron and AD were out. I just already bet it. So happens like that sometimes. 1-1 yesterday. It was a small card, only 4 games. Today, that's not the case. We have 10 games on the card, and I'm trying to smash it per usual. Again, bounce back Friday, money making Friday. Appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls. I really, really do. If you appreciate the content, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Looking to end this cold streak tonight, heading into a money-making weekend. Hey, let's do exactly that, man. Let's do exactly that. If you're rocking with me, rock with me. Scoop up those NBA plays over at the site. You can join my All Access Club. The information for that is in the description below. Plenty of ways to do it, man. But what I'm concerned with right now today is kicking the crap out of the books tonight. That's the goal. So let's do exactly that, man. And let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right. Let's do it, man. First game up. First game up, man. Hey, we got the Los Angeles Clippers, man, laying 11.5 on the Detroit Pistons. My number one comment over this little cold streak has been, stop fading the Clippers. And I get it. These boys were low-key, high-key, one of the hottest teams in the month of January. Call it spade a spade. They were. Thing is, so were the Pistons. For your pocketbook, if you were betting the Pistons in January, you made some money. You made a good amount of money. And, hey, y'all know me, man. I love fading the Clippers, and I'm fading their ass again tonight. If you like the Clippers, take them. Take them. Fade me. I've been pretty cold. Fade me if you like the Clippers. But I'm taking Detroit tonight. I want to see if my guy Cade Cunningham plays, though. I do see Cade game time decision. I think that's huge. If Cade Cunningham plays tonight, I'm on Detroit, though. Short, sweet, simple. 5th home game in their last 6 games for Detroit. Fairly comfortable at home. They've been much more competitive here recently. I think they can and will keep this game competitive with the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers, they're on a significant road trip. This is going to be their 5th straight road game. They're way on the other side of the country as well. We're just in Washington. I know they blew the doors off Washington, covered in that basketball game. Now they're in Detroit here. And of course, the Clippers are head and shoulders the better team. If they want to, they'll come out here and blow the doors off of Detroit. Of course, that's the case. I just don't think that happens. I just don't see this as a lock-in motivation spot across country on a Friday. I think this is just a get-in, get-out game for the Los Angeles Clippers. Maybe a kind of a go-through-the-motion style game where they win, fail to cover. Detroit, they've been playing with a little more aggressiveness, a little more tenacity. I want Cade to play. If Cade plays, I'm on Detroit as a home dog. They've been playing much better in the month of January. The Clippers are definitely the better team, but I think this could be a sneaky fade spot of the Clippers, man. If you like the Clippers, take them, though. Take them. I'm not. Next game up, we got the Miami Heat laying 8.5 on the Washington Wizards. Not one of my favorite games on the card. Miami, they were playing terrible. They did bounce back and finally get a dub in their last game over the Sacramento Kings at home, 115-105. They're coming off a pretty significant home trip, though. Four of their last five were just played at home. Last time we seen them on the road, they got beat up by the New York Knicks, 125-109. We've seen the Heat and the Wizards play once already this season. That game was in Miami. Miami did win that basketball game, 121-114. That game was back in November, though, really early November, so not really taking too much from that. The Wizards, they had won back-to-back games over Detroit and San Antonio, then got beat up on at home by the Los Angeles Clippers. Injury report-wise, I see Jordan Poole game time decision. He was listed out late in the day for that last game against the Clippers with an illness. I'm really not sure if he's going to play tonight or not. He's listed as game time decision. I see Shamet game time decision. Isaiah Livers is out, and Marvin Bagley is out for the Wizards. For the Heat, Duncan Robinson is out. Miami is the better team. They haven't been playing that well right now. 8.5 seems like a lot of lumber to lay, but I will lean in their direction. The Wizards are just one of the worst teams in the NBA. Short, sweet, simple. I typically only like betting Miami on the road. I hate taking Miami in Miami. They got back on track in their last game against Sacramento. This should be a game where they're just head and shoulders the better team, and they just beat up on a team that they're just flat out better than. It's kind of what I'm expecting here. Since they were playing so bad for that stretch, I think they're now locked in, or at least a little motivated right now to try to get their record back looking better than what it is currently at 25-23. I see the Heat winning this basketball game. Short, sweet, simple, and they should do it comfortably. This should be a double-digit win because the Heat are just head and shoulders the better team. Let's keep it rolling. Next game up. I don't really like this game either. I can't trust either one of these two teams, but let's talk about it. We got the Phoenix Suns laying 3.5 on the Atlanta Hawks. These are two of the worst ATS teams in the NBA. The Hawks are the worst ATS team at this point in the season in NBA history. There's never been a team this bad against the number at this point in the season in NBA history. That's how bad the Hawks are. You guys know, I almost nightly tell you guys the gift that keeps on giving is the Atlanta Hawks, 12-35 against the number. But as you see on your screen, the Suns are damn near just as bad. Not that bad, but nearly that bad at 18-28-2. Hey man, this game, I don't like this game, and this is what I'm gonna do. In a small lean, I'm going to lean towards the Atlanta Hawks because they're the dog, and I think this is just a 50-50 game. And I'd rather have the points in my back pocket or attack the plus money with the home team in a 50-50 game, or the team getting points. You know, I usually tell you guys that as well. I don't trust the Suns laying points on the road. I just don't. I can't. Are they the better team? Slightly. But is there an avenue where the Hawks come in here, hoop, and get it done? Of course. 9 times out of 10, not betting this game, though. Two bad teams. Can't trust them. Never know what you're really going to get from them. The Hawks, they're off of 2 straight wins, so can we really expect them to win 3? No, not really. The Suns, hey, they're like, 6th or 7th straight road game, so it's a terrible spot for them. Lean Hawks. I lean Atlanta Hawks in this one, but they're on the do not bet list for a reason, so I'm probably going to leave this game alone. But in a small lean, I do lean towards the worst ATS team in NBA history, the Atlanta Hawks. Next game up, we got the Sacramento Kings out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers, a.k.a. the Halliburtons, man. Halliburtons. They competed last night, fell short in New York. Depending on the number you got, you might have covered, you might have not have. That line was all over the place all day. I saw 4.5, I saw 4, I saw 3.5. Depending on the number you got, depends on if you cashed or not in that basketball game. On the jam session yesterday, the line was 4.5. So, I didn't have it officially or as a premium or anything. I thought that game was going to be right on the number, kind of like it was. So that's why I left it alone. But on the back end of a back-to-back, left New York, now coming home. They're playing the Kings. They've already beat the Kings earlier in January, 126-121 in Sacramento. I see Benedict Mathurin as a game-time decision. Kings were rolling. They were on a nice low win streak. Then they lost their last game out to the Miami Heat in Miami. This is going to be the Kings' 5th straight road game. So, I usually hate that spot. Bounce back spot at the crib is what I'm thinking here for the Indiana Pacers. Dog, sign me up. I know they're on the back end of a back to back, but they had won the three previous home games over Phoenix, Memphis, 76ers. I like the Pacers at home. Kings, terrible spot for them on a significant road trip. I'm taking Indiana here, home dog, with 3.5 in my back pocket. 2.5, 3.5. This line is kind of doing the same thing it was yesterday. Make sure you do your line shopping and get the best number available. But I like the Pacers. In all honesty, I think they win this game outright and get the Kings for the second and final time of the year. Next game up, man, we got the Toronto Raptors out on the road facing the Houston Rockets. Rockets land 5.5 here in this one, man. The Toronto Raptors are another team on the do not bet list, so this one's really not that complicated. We're going to fade the Toronto Raptors, and we're going to take the Houston Rockets at home. We've been betting Houston at home a ton. We had them as our play of the day the other night against the New Orleans Pelicans. Boy, they just didn't have it that night. But I still trust them at home. I'm not going to overcomplicate this thing. Give me Houston here in Houston. They're still 16-9-1 against the number at home. That's covering in 64% of their games. The Toronto Raptors, hey, y'all know my saying, man. When they're on the road, they don't have the whole country behind them like they do at home. I know some of you guys find that funny when I say that, but yeah, man, I'm on Houston here. Toronto's not terrible on the road, 12-11-1 against the number out on the road. But I just think this is a lock-in spot for Houston. Houston, they have to win the games that they're supposed to win if they're going to get into the playoffs this season. We saw Sengun snubbed from the All-Star. He is game-time decision from this one. I'm expecting him to play. I also see Terry Eason game-time decision for this one. The Thunder's injury report, not the Thunder, the Raptors injury report is not beautiful either. Game-time decision is Quickly, Barrett, Porter, and Jakob Pertl. I said it right, so y'all can leave me alone. I finally said it right, Jakob Pertl. But all those guys are game-time decision. I don't technically like betting Toronto on the road. They did get a road win in their last one over the Bulls. Not tonight. Lock-in spot at home, at the crib for the Rockets. They've been solid against the number at home all season. I think they lock in defensively, cause the Raptors some problems, and win this game. These guys play again in a week in Toronto. So something to watch out for there. But I'm on the Houston Rockets. Short, sweet, simple. Next game up, we got the Golden State Warriors laying 8.5 on the Memphis Grizzlies. Grizzlies, they did beat Golden State in the lone meeting these two teams have faced this season. Grizzlies won that game 116-107. It was earlier in January. The game was in Memphis. Memphis has now lost 3 straight. They lost to Cleveland 108-101, lost to the Sacramento Kings 103-94, and lost to Indiana out on the road 116-110. Golden State, they're coming off a pretty significant homestand. They just played 4 straight at home. Beat the Hawks, lost to Sacramento in a close one, lost to the Lake Show in a close one, and then went out and beat up on the Sixers. I got to take the Golden State Warriors here, man. I do. Revenge game. But it's not even that. I just think they have to win the games they're supposed to if they're going to get back into the thick of things in the West. They're 4 games below 500. They have no room to be messing around, playing around. They are definitely the better team in this one tonight. The injury report for the Memphis Grizzlies, of course, is still concerning. Tillman, game-time decision. Derrick Rose, Kennard, Oladipo, and Zaire Williams are all out. They just traded for Oladipo, but you get the point. Chris Paul still out for the Warriors. Draymond, game-time decision. Moses Moody is out, and Sarge is out. Light-skinned man on a Friday in Memphis, though. I think he gets busy. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. The Warriors, they've started to look better here recently. And we'll see if they can get this done tonight. I think they should. I believe they're head and shoulders a better team. If Curry gets hot, this should be a double-digit win. This should be a double-digit win for the Warriors. We'll see if they go out there and get it done. Couple more. Next game up, we got the Orlando Magic out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment. The Timberwolves, they're laying 7.5. This one's easy. I'm taking the Orlando Magic plus the points in this one. The Magic, I just trust them. I blindly trust the Magic most nights. I know that sounds crazy, but it's the truth. The reason it's the truth is because they've been one of our favorite money making teams this season. Right now, currently, they're the best ATS team in basketball, even better than the Thunder Buddies. Thunder Buddies have not covered in a couple straight games, so they've dropped a bit. They've dropped to second. But number one right now in the NBA, the best ATS team in the NBA is the Orlando Magic at 31-17 against the number. They've covered in 64.6% of their games, and I think this is just too many points to be laying with Minnesota. And all, as far as I'm concerned, I think the Orlando Magic have a legitimate shot to win this game outright. I know we've already seen Minnesota beat up on the Magic once this season. Really wasn't that long ago either. It was earlier in January in Orlando, too. That's kind of what's concerning. 113-92, smashed them. I don't think that's the case tonight, though. I think Orlando comes in here, locks in defensively, and keeps this game competitive. Orlando, they've been playing decently. Recently, we saw them beat Phoenix 113-98. I was at that game against my Mavericks here in Dallas. First half, boy, them boys was hooping. Second half, that third quarter, they just didn't have it offensively. The Mavs really locked in defensively, but they still covered that basketball game against Dallas. And then we saw them beat up on San Antonio. Hey, Minnesota, they do be winning games, but they're terrible against the number, as you see on your screen. They're just a 50-50 ATS team. More often than not, when they're supposed to cover, we don't trust them to do so. I don't trust them to blow out the Magic tonight. I don't see this as a double-digit win. I'm sorry. I just don't. I think the Magic have a legitimate shot to win this game outright. So I want the points in my back pocket. Give me Orlando, the best ATS team in the NBA, the best team for your pocketbook, at least at this point in the season, the Magic. Next game up, let's talk about our favorite money-making team. They've dropped to the second best currently in the NBA, but still our guys, the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. Thunder Buddies for life, short, sweet, simple. We're laying the huge number here. I'm not overcomplicating it today, bro. I'm not. If I like it, I'm betting it. And we're trying to get out of this cold streak. This one, I just see this as a get-right opportunity at home, at the crib for the Thunder. That's just how I see it, bro. The Hornets, they're terrible. They're on a significant losing streak. They're coming off a pretty significant homestand. This should be a smash spot for the Thunder Buddies. I wouldn't be surprised if they were up 20 at half. We know the Thunder have that type of capability. When they've been huge favorites this season, for the most part, they've taken care of business. I know they didn't recently against Detroit, but that was a look-ahead spot to Minnesota. No look-ahead spot here for the Thunder. I think they just beat up on the Hornets. I ain't even overcomplicating that one. Next game up, got the Pelicans on the road facing the Spurs. This is an interesting game here. The Pels, they thoroughly surprised me in their last game after how they beat up on the Houston Rockets after being pretty cold. They were pretty cold there for a little minute, but they did bounce back and beat Houston. They've beaten up on San Antonio twice this season, 121-106 on the 1st of December and 146-110 on the 17th of December. The first one was in New Orleans. The second one was in San Antonio. I believe San Antonio was a different team then than they are now. San Antonio then was still really, really bad. San Antonio now, they've been decent against the number. Damn near a 50-50 ATS team, as you see on your screen, 23-25 against the number. It's a lot of lumber to lay with New Orleans. I know they did avenge and bounce back against Houston, but in the grand scheme of things, the last week or two, I haven't liked what I've seen from New Orleans, and I'm not looking to lay this style number with them on a Friday night on the road. I think San Antonio comes in here and competes. Double revenge spot at home at the crib. Y'all know I love that spot. They're very comfortable at home right now as well. This is what, they're like 6th or 7th straight home game for San Antonio. Spurs might beat these boys outright tonight. Spurs might beat these boys outright tonight. Game time decision, of course, still is Zion Williamson. He didn't play in that last game. I see Herbert Jones, game time decision, and I see Larry Nance Jr., game time decision for the Spurs. Zach Collins and Keldon Johnson, game time decision. So be on the lookout for those injury news. I'll try to update you guys on Twitter when I find out something in a little bit. But as I sit here right now, give me the home dog, double revenge spot at home at the crib, especially after getting embarrassed The last time they played this New Orleans Pelicans team at home, it was a 36-point loss at home. Yeah, I think they remember that. They come in locked and loaded and possibly beat them outright, but I'm most definitely going to take the points in my back pocket. Last game of the night, man. Short, sweet, simple. We're on the Nuggets. You know why? Because they go stupid, dummy, crazy at the crib. I don't even got to say no more. Yes, the Nuggets have been one of the worst ATS teams in the league. But tonight, I think this is a spot again where they're just head and shoulders a better team, and they take a team behind the woodshed in the Portland Trail Blazers. So that's just how I see it. See if they can get it done. But that's our last and final game of the night. Appreciate y'all boys, man. Bounce back night on a Friday. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Bounce Back Friday. Money Making Friday. That's all I'm worried about. That's all I'm concerned with. And that's exactly what we're finna do today, man. Make some money on a Friday. The cold streak ends tonight. It ends tonight. If you're rocking with me, rock with me, man. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls. I really, really do. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. See y'all soon. I'm out of here. Peace.